That's right, the stake boat boys there you see on the left of the shot, they're holding the boat in position. He'll have an earpiece talking to the two stewards in the tent, and we're all ready. Go! As it is, we heard the cock say the word squeeze, and they squeezed out those first couple of long strokes before shortening into those shorter, quicker strokes to get the stroke rate up. We have a look now at the University Barge Club from the United States. We're getting up into a long, steady rhythm.
Yeah, the Barge Club kind of hit their rhythm. They've gone off a slightly lower rate and longer, 48, compared to, you saw there, the really sat up higher rate of the Norwegian crew, 51.
Wow, 51. And you can see that Barge Club just looked like they sort of found just a bit more rhythm early rather than the Oslo crew, who kept sprinting just a bit longer. Now it's traditionally the time where you try to find your pace coming out the top of the island, coming out to about 45 seconds. See how strong that wind is on the flags, that it's quite a strong headwind up there.
Norwegian crew now, they're settled to about 36, 37, still a very high rate, but you would expect that in the early stages of an eights race. And the Barge Club USA contains many of the same athletes from a semi-final of the Thames Cup last year. They lost to Thames, coming back, giving it another go. They have the work cut out against this Norwegian crew at the moment.
Yeah, we get some nice shots there, looking at this Norwegian crew from Oslo. The crew have had a pretty tough time getting through to this stage of the regatta. They're involved in that very difficult clash situation with the Sydney Rowing Club earlier in the week, which was so sad that crew had come all the way from Australia, but they did infringe about this point of the race. The crews clashed so badly that we had to stop the race and they were disqualified. Oslo still rode the whole course, and then they came to a race yesterday as they progressed through the regatta, and that experience is seeing them well here as they come down to the mark we call the barrier. It's about 2 minutes 10 seconds into the race, and they're coming out towards that marker now.
Still at 36 in this Norwegian crew from Oslo. I think they had quite a tight race yesterday. Just beat the Z Club Lucerne by just a third of a length, I think. So as you said, they've had quite a tough road through. Still, now this is as we might expect in having got through to the Saturday. It's a kind of first big aim for crews. So many crews so pleased to make it through to the weekend of Henley. And now it's really on. The crew's more evenly matched by the time you get to the weekend.
Well, that's right. Well, Henley is the progression now that they've had to race every day, so they have fatigue in their muscles as well. So we've got to bear that in mind as a factor. So it's interesting for me to see the N.S.R. Oslo crew going out really quite strongly, but having gone that hard that early, as opposed to this crew that the University Barge Club, we thought settled into their pace slightly earlier, might mean they're not carrying quite so much lactic acid, so much pain in their muscles. So they might find that through this tough middle section of the race, they might be able to come back at the crew in the red from Oslo.
Yeah, and I think the University Barge Club is still slightly under rating, so they're managing to hold the Norwegians at the moment at a slightly lower rate, sort of 34-35, to the crew from Oslo, 35-36. So we've seen this crew on the right, the red crew there, now on the left, they just switched the picture. We've seen them having to slightly overrate, slightly work harder all the time. It's hard to tell from this angle, so we're now going to watch the progress boards and see if we can see the distance between these two crews. There's not much in it. We're going to get an exciting race.
It is going to be a good Henley race, this one. They're just through halfway through that Forley marker. They're getting to the area where there's a bit of a party going on. You can hear some of that music perhaps coming through in the background. And I think the University Barge Club from Philadelphia, it's what I call very much a true club. These men all have jobs. Despite being called university, they're not at university. They all have jobs. They're all working. They will have rowed at varsity, but now they're coming together. They're training as proper amateur athletes in this proper club event again against N.S.R. Oslo. And it looks to me like the University Barge have come back now to about half a length.
Yeah, they've upped their rate actually now, so having really paced it through the middle section, 34-35, they've gone up to 36-37, passing the enclosures, perhaps cheered on, and they've started to lift for the second half of the race, and they've got something in reserve. We'll see whether N.S.R. and Oslo can match that, what they've got left. I mean, they still look very composed here, still got a beautiful rhythm.
They do look composed, don't they? And you can see the boat's not really kicking from side to side, certainly not checking much. The Oslo crew move along pretty nicely. I'm not sure if we take a little look at the blade work. I think the University Barge club blade work for me is starting to look slightly ragged.
Well, now they've, now they've upped their rate. You know, they're quite comfortable at the lower rate, but now they've gone up. You're right, they're just...
Well, I was going to say, it doesn't seem to be doing them any harm, because I think they're still coming back.
Yeah.
We thought it was half a length. Still looks like now, as they're coming towards that mile marker, that's 500 metres to go, that it's looking pretty tight. Half a length or less, I think.
We have a race. It is on, coming into the last section of this race now. N.S.R. Oslo have led all the way, but they had a more of a lead at the quarter and the half mile than they have now.
Do you see that drone there that's giving us these beautiful pictures? Normally it's the other way around. You're seeing the shot down from the drone. Now we're seeing on the umpire's launch following. This is about the best view that you can get if you're a spectator, to follow the crew down the course. And we can see University Barge Club from Philadelphia in the United States. They're fighting hard for it, I would say. But Oslo are doing very, very well, that despite the fact they're getting now probably less than a minute to go. The University Barge Club are pushing hard, but Oslo have been able to hold them so far. There might be some little gusts of wind that they're just about to row into, but will they be able to hold the University Barge coming back?
They've held them all the way. They've still got they've had a high rate all the way down. They're still up at 36. They're racing to 37. Now the University Barge Club has lifted again past the enclosures.
Well, Cornelius McPeak in the stroke seat there. The University Barge crew is 95 kilos. He's looking for more. He's looking to raise his crew on. They're coming back. How are they going to have enough as they come to a traditional progress board? This marks the last 10 or strokes down to the line.
Such a gutsy row by this N.S.R. Oslo crew. They've led all the way. They've upped their rating now to 37, 38. I think they're going to hold them.
It's looking like we're coming down. We're on the finish line. This camera is on the finish line. This is it. And that is confirmed by us that that's a win for N.S.R. Oslo of Norway in a fantastic race ahead of the University Barge Club from the United States in a semi-final of the Thames Cup.
Wow, that's the way to hold your head while you're racing.